ॐ गणानां त्वा गणपतिगुं हवामहे कविं कवीनामुपमश्रवस्तमम् ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणां ब्रह्मणस्पत आनशृण्वन्नोतभिसीदसादनं प्रणो देवी सरस्वती वाजेभिर्वाजनीवती दीनामवित्रयवतो गणेशाय नमः सरस्वत्यै नमः श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैस्तुष्टुवागुंसस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवाहितं यदायुः स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ नमो भगवते रुद्राय ॐ नमस्ते रुद्रमन्यव उतोत इषवे नमः नमस्ते अस्तु धन्वने बाहुभ्यामुत ते नमः यात इषु शिवतमा शिवं बभूव ते धनुः शिवा शरव्या यातवतया नो रुद्रमडया याते रुद्र शिवा तनूरघोरा पापकाशिनी तया नस्तनुवाशन्तमया गिरिशन्ताभिजाकशीः यामिषुं गिरिशन्तहस्ते बिभर्षस्तवे शिवां गिरित्रतां कुरु माहि गुंसेः पुरुषं जगत शिवेन वचसा त्वा गिरिशा चावधामसि यथा नः सर्वमिज्जगत यक्ष्मगं सुमना असत अध्यवोचदधिवक्ता प्रथमो देव्योऽभिषक अहेग्यश्च सर्वान् जम्भयन्त् सर्वाश्च यातु धान्यः असो यस्ताम्रो अरुण उत बभ्रुः सुमङ्गलः ये चेमागुं रुद्र अभितो दिक्षु श्रिता सहस्रशो वैशागुं हेडयीमहे असो यो वसर्पति नीलग्रीवो विलोहितः उतेनं गोपा अदृशन्नदृशन्नुदहार्यः उतेनं विश्वा भूतानि सदृष्टो मृडयतिनः नमो अस्तु नीलग्रीवाय सहस्राक्षाय मीरुषे अथो ये अस्य सत्त्वानोऽहं तेभ्यो करन्नमः प्रमुञ्च धन्वनस्त्वमुभयोरात्मीयोर्जाम् याश्च ते हस्त इषवः पराता भगवो वपा अवतत्यदनुस्त्वगं सहस्राक्षशुधे शुधे निशीर्य शल्यानां मुखा शिवो नः सुमना भव विज्जं धनु कपर्दिनो विशल्यो बाणवागम् उत अनेशन्नस्येषव आभुरस्य निषङ्गतिः याते हे धर्मे दुष्टमहस्ते बभूव ते धनुः तयास्मान् विश्वतस्त्वमयक्ष्मया परिभुज नमस्ते अस्त्वायुधाय नातताय धृष्णवे उभाभ्यामुत ते नमो बाहुभ्यां तव धन्वने परिते धन्वनो हेतिरस्मान् वृणक्तो विश्वतः अतो य इषुदिस्तवारे अस्मन्निदेहितम् नमस्ते अस्तु भगवन् विश्वेश्वराय महादेवाय त्र्यम्बकाय त्रिपुरान्तकाय त्रिकाग्निकालाय कालाग्निरुद्राय नीलकण्ठाय मृत्युञ्जयाय सर्वेश्वराय सदाशिवाय श्रीमन्महादेवाय नमः नमो हिरण्यबाहवे सेनान्ये दिशां च पतये नमो नमो वृक्षेभ्यो हरिकेशेभ्यः पशूनां पतये नमो नमः सस्पिञ्जराय त्विषीमते पथीनां पतये नमो नमो बभ्लुषाय विद्याधीने नानां पतये नमो नमो हरिकेशायोपवीतिने पुष्टानां पतये नमो नमो भवस्य हेत्ये जगत्तां पतये नमो नमो रुद्राय ततादिने क्षेत्राणां पतये नमो नमः सूताय हन्त्याय वनानां पतये नमो नमो रोहिताय स्तपतये वृक्षाणां पतये नमो नमो मन्त्रणे वाणिजाय कक्षाणां पतये नमो नमो भुवन्तये वारिवस्कृतायौषधीनां पतये नमो नमः उच्चैर्घोषाय क्रन्दयते पत्तीनां पतये नमो नमः कृत्स्नवीताय धावते सत्त्वनां पतये नमः नमः सहमानाय नव्यादिन आव्यादिनीनां पतये नमो नमः ककुभाय निषङ्गिणे स्तेनानां पतये नमो नमो निषङ्गिन इषुधिमते तस्कराणां पतये नमो नमो वञ्जते परिवञ्जते स्तायूनां पतये नमो नमो निचेरवे परिचरायारण्यानां पतये नमो नमः श्रिकाविभ्यो जिगागं सत्भ्यो मुष्णतां पतये नमो नमो सिमद्भ्यो नक्तं चरभ्यः प्रकृन्तानां पतये नमो नमः ऊष्णीशिने गिरिचराय कुलुञ्चानां पतये नमो नमः इषुमद्भ्यो धन्वाविभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः आतन्वानेभ्यः प्रतितधानेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः आयश्चद्भ्यो विसृजद्भ्यश्च वो नमो नमो स्यद्भ्यो विद्यद्भ्यश्च वो नमो नमः आसीनेभ्यश्च यानेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः स्वपद्भ्यो जाग्रद्भ्यश्च वो नमो नमः स्तिष्ठद्भ्यो दावद्भ्यश्च वो नमो नमः सभापतिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो अश्वेभ्यो अश्वपतिभ्यश्च वो नमः नमः आव्याधिनीभ्यो विविद्यन्तिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः उगणाभ्यस्त्रिगंहतिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो गृत्सेभ्यो गृत्सपतिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो व्रातेभ्यो व्रातपतिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो गणेभ्यो गणपतिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो विरूपेभ्यो विश्वरूपेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो महत्भ्यः क्षुल्लकेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो रतिभ्यो रतेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो रथेभ्यो रत्तपतिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः सेनानिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः क्षत्तर्भ्यः संग्रहीतर्भ्यश्च वो नमो नमस्तक्षभ्यो रतकारेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः कुलालेभ्यः कर्मारेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः पुञ्जिष्टेभ्यो निषादेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः इषुकृभ्यो धन्वकृभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो मृगयुभ्यः श्वनीभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः श्वभ्यः श्वपतिभ्यश्च वो नमः नमो भवाय च रुद्राय च नमः शरवाय च पशुपतये च नमो नीलग्रीवाय च शितिकण्ठाय च नमः कपर्दिने च व्युप्तकेशाय च नमः सहस्राक्षाय च शतधन्वने च नमो गिरिशाय च शिपिविष्टाय च नमो मीरुष्टमाय चेषुमते च नमो रसवाय च वामनाय च नमो प्रहते च वर्षीयसे च नमो वृद्धाय च संवृद्ध्वने च नमो अग्र्याय च प्रथमाय च नमः आशवे च जिराय च नमः शीघ्रियाय च शेव्याय च नमः ऊर्म्याय च वस्वन्याय च नमः श्रोतस्याय च द्वेप्याय च नमो ज्येष्ठाय च कनिष्ठाय च नमः पूर्वजाय च परजाय च नमो मध्यमाय च पगर्भाय च नमो जघन्याय च भूत्नीयाय च नमः सोऽभ्याय च प्रतिसर्याय च नमो याम्याय च क्षेम्याय च नमः उर्वर्याय च खल्याय च नमः श्लोक्याय च वसान्याय च नमो वन्याय च कक्षाय च नमः श्रवाय च प्रतिश्रवाय च नमः आशुषेणाय च शुरताय च नमः शूराय च वबिन्दते च नमो वर्मिने च वरुतिने च नमो बिल्मिने च कवचिने च नमः श्रुताय च श्रुतसेनाय च नमो दुन्दुभ्याय च हनन्याय च नमो धृष्णवे च प्रमृषाय च नमो दूताय च प्रहिताय च नमो निषङ्गिने चेषु धीमते च नमः तीक्ष्णीषवे च युधिने च नमः स्वायुधाय च सुधन्वने च नमः श्रुत्याय च पत्याय च नमः काट्याय च नेप्याय च नमः सूध्याय च सरस्याय च नमो नाध्याय च वेशन्ताय च नमः कूप्याय च वत्याय च नमो वर्षाय च नमो मेघ्याय च विद्युत्याय च नमः ईध्रियाय च तप्याय च नमो वात्याय च रेश्मियाय च नमो वास्तव्याय च वास्तुपाय च ॐ हर 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 ॐ नमः सोमाय च रुद्राय च नमः ताम्राय च रुणाय च नमः शङ्गाय च पशुपतये च नमः उग्राय च भीमाय च नमो अग्रे वदाय च दूरे वदाय च नमो हन्त्रे च हनीयसे च नमो वृक्षेभ्यो हरिकेशेभ्यो नमस्ताराय नमः शम्भवे च मयोभवे च नमः शङ्कराय च मयस्कराय च नमः शिवाय च शिवतराय च नमः स्थित्याय च खोल्याय च नमः पार्याय च भार्याय च नमः प्रतरणाय चोतरणाय च नमः आतार्याय च लाद्याय च नमः षष्प्याय च फेन्याय च नमः सिकट्याय च प्रवाह्याय च नमः इरण्याय च प्रपत्याय च नमः किगंशिलाय च क्षयनाय च नमः कपर्दिने च पुलस्तये च नमो कोश्चाय च कृत्याय च नमः स्तल्प्याय च गेग्याय च नमः काट्याय च गवरेष्टाय च नमो हृदयाय च निवेश्याय च नमः पागं सव्याय च रजस्याय च नमः शुष्क्याय च हरित्याय च नमो लोप्याय चोलप्याय च नमः उर्व्याय च सूर्म्याय च नमः पर्ण्याय च पर्णशत्याय च नमो पगुरमाणाय च भिघ्नते च नमः आखिदते च प्रखिदते च नमो वक्किरिकेभ्यो देवानागं हृदयेभ्यो नमो वीक्षिणकेभ्यो नमो वीक्षिन्वट्केभ्यो नमः आनिरहतेभ्यो नमः आमिवट्केभ्यः द्रापे अंधसस्पते दरिद्रन्नीललोहिता येषां पुरुषाणाम् येषां पशूनां माभेर्मा रोमो येषां किञ्चन ममता या ते रुद्र शिवा तनो शिवा विश्वाः भेषजी शिवा रुद्रस्य भेषजी तया नो बृरजीवसे इमागुं रुद्राय तवसे कपर्दिने क्षयद्वीराय प्रबरामहे मतिं यथा न शमशद्विपते चतुष्पते विश्वं पुष्टं ग्रामे अस्मिन्न नातुरं मृडानो रुद्रोत नो मयस्कृति क्षयद्वीराय नमसा विधेमते यच्चं च योश्च मनुराय जे पिता तदश्यम तव रुद्र प्रणीतो मानो महान्तमुत्तमानो अर्भकं मान उक्षन्तमुत्तमान उक्षितं मानो वदीपितरं मोत मातरं प्रियामानस्तनुवो रुद्ररीरिषः मानस्तोके तनये मान आयुषि मानो गोषु मानो अश्वेषु रीरिषः वीरान् मानुरुद्रभामितो वदिरः विष्मन्तो नमसा विधेमते आरात्य गोग्न उत पूरुषग्ने क्षयद्वीराय सुं नमस्मे ते अस्तु रक्षा च नो अधि च देवा ब्रूयदा च न शर्मा यच्चत् द्विबरः ष्टुहि श्रुतं गर्सदं युवानं मृगान्नभीममुपहत्नुमुग्रं मृडा चरित्रे रुद्रास्तवानो अन्यन्ते अस्मन्निवपन्तु सेनाः परिणो रुद्रस्य हेतर्वृणक्तु परितेशस्य धुर्मतिरगायोः अवस्थिरा मघवत्पयस्तनुष्वमीध्वस्तोकाय तनयाय मृडया मीरुष्टम शिवतमा शिवो न सुमना भव परमे वृक्ष आयुधन्निधाय कृतं वसान आचर पिनाकं बिभ्रदागहि विकिरित विलोहित नमस्ते अस्तु भगवः यास्ते सहस्रगं हेतयोऽन्यमस्मन्निवपन्तु ताः सहस्राणि सहस्रदा बाहुवो स्तव हेतयः तासामीशानो भगवः पराचीनामुकाकृति सहस्राणि सहस्रशो ये रुद्रा अधिभूम्यां तेषागं सहस्रयोजने वदन्वानि तन्मसि अस्मिन् महन्त्यन्नवेऽन्तरिक्षे भवा अधि नीलग्रीवाशितिकण्ठाः शर्वा अधः क्षमाचराः नीलग्रीवाशितिकण्ठा दिवगुं रुद्र उपश्रिताः ये वृक्षेषु सस्पिञ्जरा नीलग्रीवा विलोहिताः ये भूतानाम् अधिपतयो विशिकास कपर्दिनः ये अन्येषु विविद्यन्ति पात्रेषु पिपतो जनानां ये पथां पतिरक्षय एलभृदाय व्युदः ये तीर्थानि प्रचरन्ति श्रिकावन्तो निषङ्गिनः य एतवन्तश्च भूयागंसश्च दिशो रुद्रावितस्थिरे तेषागं सहस्रयोजने वधन्वानि तन्मसि नमो रुद्रेभ्यो ये पृथिव्याम्येऽन्तरिक्षे ये दिवि येषामन्नं वातो वर्षमिषवस्तेभ्यो दश प्राचीदश दक्षिणादश प्रतीचीदशोदीचीदशो द्वास्तेभ्यो नमस्ते नो मृडयन्तु तेयं द्विष्वयश्च नो द्वेष्टितं वोजम्भे दधामि त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनान् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयमामृतात् यो रुद्रो अग्नौ यो अप्सु य ओषधीषु यो रुद्रो विश्वा भुवना विवेश तस्मै रुद्राय नमो अस्तु ये ते सहस्रमयुतं पाशा मृत्यो मर्त्यया हन्तवे तान् यज्ञस्य मायया सर्वानवायजामहे मृत्यवे स्वाहा मृत्यवे स्वाहा प्राणानां ग्रन्थिरसि रुद्रो मा विशान्तकः तेनान्येनान्त्यायस्व नमो रुद्राय विष्णवे मृत्युर्मे पाहि तमुष्टुहि यस्विषु सुदन्वायो विश्वक्षयति भेषजस्य यक्ष्वा महेशो मनसाय रुद्रं नमो भीर्देवमसुरं दुवस्य अयमे हस्तो भगवान् अयमे भगवत्तरः अयं मे विश्वभेषजो यगं शिवाभिमर्शनः ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः शं च मे मयश्च मे प्रियं च मे नुकामश्च मे कामश्च मे सोमनशश्च मे भद्रं च मे श्रेयश्च मे वशश्च मे यशश्च मे भगश्च मे द्रविणं च मे यन्ता च मे दर्ता च मे क्षेमश्च मे धृतिश्च मे विश्वं च मे महश्च मे संविच्च मे ज्ञात्रं च मे सुश्च मे प्रसुश्च मे शिरं च मे लयश्च मरुत्तं च मे अमृतं च मे यक्ष्मं च मे नामयच्च मे जीवातुश्च मे दीर्घायुत्वं च मे नमित्रं च मे भयं च मे सुगं च मे शयनं च मे सूषा च मे सुदिनं च मे स्वस्ति प्रजाभ्यः परिपालयन्तां न्यायेन मार्गेण महिषाः गोब्राह्मणेभ्यः शुभमस्तु नित्यं समस्तलोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्तलोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्तलोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः।
ॐ भूर्भुवस्सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवस्सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवस्सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्।
ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः।
सुरमुनिवन्दित विनायका आनन्ददायक विनायका आनन्ददायक विनायका हे शिवनन्दन शुभानना हे शिवनन्दन शुभानना साई गणेश विनायका साई गणेश विनायका साई गणेश साई गणेश साई गणेश विनायका साई गणेश साई गणेश साई गणेश विनायका आनन्ददायक विनायक हे शिवनन्दन शुभानना साई गणेश विनायक साई गणेश साई गणेश 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 साई गणेश विनायक सुरमुनि वन्दित विनायक
प्रेम स्वरूपिणी जननी मां प्रेम स्वरूपिणी जननी मां प्रेम स्वरूपिणी जननी मां प्रेम स्वरूपिणी जननी मां शरणनमोस्तुते साई मां शरणनमोस्तुते साई मां शरणनमोस्तुते साई मां शरणनमोस्तुते साई मां प्रेम स्वरूपिणी जननी मां प्रेम स्वरूपिणी जननी मां जगदम्बे कृपा करी साई मां जगदम्बे कृपा करी साई मां करुणामयि जननी साई मां करुणामयि जननी साई मां जगदम्बे कृपा करी साई मां जगदम्बे कृपा करी साई मां करुणामयि जननी साई मां करुणामयि जननी साई मां त्रिभुवन पालिनी साई मां त्रिभुवन पालिनी साई मां त्रिभुवन पालिनी साई मां त्रिभुवन पालिनी साई मां शरणनमोस्तुते साई मां शरणनमोस्तुते साई मां शरणनमोस्तुते साई मां शरणनमोस्तुते साई मां प्रेम स्वरूपिणी जननी मां दुर्गा भवानी माँ जय जय साई माँ
दुर्गा भवानी माँ जय जय साई माँ
दुर्गा भवानी माँ जय जय साई माँ
कालिका पालिनी 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 माँ जय जय साई माँ
दुर्गा भवानी माँ जय जय साई माँ
दुर्गा भवानी माँ जय जय साई माँ
परम शिवानी 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 माँ जय जय साई माँ
जगदोदारिणी माँ जय जय साई माँ
जगदोधारिणी माँ जय जय साई माँ
जगदोदारिणी माँ जय जय साई माँ
दुर्गा भवानी माँ जय जय साई माँ
दुर्गा भवानी माँ जय जय साई माँ
कालिका पालिनी माँ जय जय साई माँ
दुर्गा भवानी माँ जय जय साई माँ
दुर्गा भवानी माँ जय जय साई माँ
परम शिवानी माँ जय जय साई माँ
परम शिवानी माँ
जगदोदारिणी माँ जय जय साई माँ
जगदोधारिणी माँ जय जय साई माँ
जगदोदारिणी माँ जय जय साई माँ
दुर्गा भवानी माँ जय जय साई माँ
जय दुर्गा लक्ष्मी सरस्वती साई जगन्माता
दुर्गा लक्ष्मी सरस्वती साई जगन्माता
जय दुर्गा लक्ष्मी सरस्वती साई जगन्माता
जय दुर्गा लक्ष्मी सरस्वती साई जगन्माता
साई जगन्माता माँ 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 साई जगन्माता
साई जगन्माता जगन्माता
जय दुर्गा लक्ष्मी सरस्वती साई जगन्माता
साई जगन्माता माँ गाई जगन्माता
साई जगन्माता माँ पाई जगन्माता
साई जगन्माता माँ गाई जगन्माता
साई जगन्माता माँ पाई जगन्माता
साई जगन्माता माँ गाई जगन्माता
साई जगन्माता माँ पाई जगन्माता
जय दुर्गा लक्ष्मी सरस्वती साई जगन्माता
ईश्वराम्ब प्रियतनया साई नारायणा ईश्वराम्ब प्रियतनया साई नारायणा ईश्वराम्ब प्रियतनया साई नारायणा ईश्वराम्ब प्रियतनया साई नारायणा साई नारायणा सत्यनारायणा साई नारायणा सत्यनारायणा साई नारायणा सत्यनारायणा साई नारायणा सत्यनारायणा ईश्वराम्ब प्रियतनया साई नारायणा ईश्वराम्ब प्रियतनया साई नारायणा कलियुग में अवतारिणी कलियुग में अवतारिणी कलियुग में अवतारिणी कलियुग में अवतारिणी कण कण में तेरा नाम साई कण कण में तेरा नाम साई कण कण में तेरा नाम कण कण में तेरा नाम ओ साई कण कण में तेरा नाम कण कण में ईश्वराम्ब प्रियतनया साई नारायणा ईश्वराम्ब प्रियतनया साई नारायणा सत्यनारायणा चैतन्य साई नारायण
सत्यस्वरूपिणि मा साई प्रेम स्वरूपिणि मा
सत्यस्वरूपिणि मा साई
तत्सत् श्रीनारायण तु पुरुषोत्तम गुरु तु सिद्धबुद्ध तु स्कन्द विनायक सविता पावक तु सविता पावक तु ब्रह्ममज तु यहोव शक्ति तु येषु पिता प्रभु तु रुद्र विष्णु तु राम कृष्ण तु रहीमताओ तु रहीमताओ तु वासुदेव गो विश्वरूप तु चिदानंद हरि तु अद्वितीय तु अकाल निर्भय आत्मलिंग शिव तु आत्मलिंग शिव तु आत्मलिंग शिव तु असतो मा सद्गमया तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमया मृत्योर्मा अमृतं गमया शांति शांति शांति.
My humble pranams at the lotus feet of our beloved Bhagavan Baba and my loving Aum Sai Rams to one and all. Swami says, and I quote, "That person is truly a human being who is sanctified by the unity of thought, word, and deed. The heart can be compared to goddess of wealth, Mother Lakshmi. The words can be compared to goddess of knowledge, Mother Saraswati. The power of doing deeds can be compared to goddess, Mother Durga. Hence it is said, Manasekyam, Vachasekyam, Karmanyakam, Atmanam. Unity in thought, word, and deed makes a man great. The Devi Navarathri signifies that man can sanctify his life by bringing about the unity of thought, word, and deed and live as human being by getting rid of ignorance." This quote comes from the Divine Discourse given on the 27th of September 1992. The infographic for this week is: laws governing nature were made by God, and everyone is subject to them, whether he is a millionaire or a pauper. Satya Sai Speaks, Volume 21. This morning, we have Sister Lima from the Silver Glen Sai Center who will be sharing her 108 gem experience.
Aum Sri Ram to all. My name is Lima Nair and my 108 gem is Aum Sri Sai Karuna Karaya Namaha, the one who is compassionate. I experienced merging with Swami, or his miracle of hearts, was when I went to Prashanti for the first time in 2008, and the next day we went for darshan. I was walking down and I went through the back entrance of the hall, not the front, and then suddenly the Sevadals called and said, "Please, all of you sit, Swami's coming, Swami's coming." And I was just walking past the place, in the front where all the people that work for Swami, they quickly said, "Everybody sit." And then I was just told by the Sevadal to sit in the front, and I sat in that first row. And we always sat and waited, and suddenly from the gates on the right, Swami comes in, and I promise you, when he goes past me in the wheelchair, there was this ball of fire passing me. I was like drenching in tears and sweat, crying and with happiness and so excited, and I don't know, was a mixed emotional person. It was a feeling that you cannot feel. It's out of this world. And for the rest of the holiday, that just kept me going. My second Leela or miracle was in the same trip. One day I'm sitting in my room and said, Swami, I'm here so long, you haven't spoken or sung or gave us a discourse or anything. This was on my last day packing, and I'm thinking and I'm being sad to leave Prashanti. So anyway, we packed, and I told my husband that night we will leave at after darshan, and by 9, we have to take the taxi. To those days was 2.5, 3 hours drive. So we went for afternoon darshan. While sitting there, suddenly Swami starts talking. He gives this whole discourse on Dasera, and then he sings the song, and I was like, there's his omnipresence. Here he is listening to whatever I said, and he's doing it. Oh, that was an awesome experience. Then my last experience in the trip in Prashanti, a year later, my husband and I were there, and while walking, they said, poor Swami's coming into the Purna Chandra hall, so everyone must go there. So we were walking. Now my husband left from the men's side and I left from the women's side. So we were walking, and I'm thinking, now Swami says, Swami, it would be so nice if you bless my husband and I. You brought us together, and everything we do is for you. So please bless us. And they looking towards me in the Purna Chandra hall, coming across. I'm walking towards Swami, and there's my husband coming and walking towards Swami. And there he is, like, raised his hand and blessed us both. That is the merging of our hearts. Thank you, Jai Sai Ram.
Thank you, Sister Lima, for so lovingly sharing your experience with us. Devotees to collectively chant the Gayatri Mantra 108 times at 8 p.m. The WhatsApp study circle continues until the 22nd of November. The topic for these WhatsApp study circles are the 8 flowers of worship. So far, we have completed non-violence, control of senses, compassion for all beings, and forbearance. The next topic is peace. Thank you to all the bhajan singers who contribute to the Sunday morning programs on a weekly basis. For those who would like to participate, please speak to your Center Devotional Coordinator or your Center President. Balvikas continues on the online platform. The children are going to continue collecting the bread clips and the bottle caps. All devotees are to continue with the planting of the vegetable and herb gardens, making of eco bricks, and collecting of cans and recycling. The Seva wing, a meal distribution seva, will be undertaken as a Sai Avatar Day program on the 16th and 17th of October. Details for this activity will be sent out closer to the date. Please check in with your Center Seva Coordinator or the Center President. Dear young adults, we require media content for our regional young adult channel. We're looking for vegetarian recipes in a video format of young adults cooking. This is to encourage healthy eating, taking the lessons from our sadhana camp this year. Also, we require a Sai experience in writing or a video, up to 5 to 6 minutes, a write-up of a seva activity attended this year with pictures or a video, and your experience, and a write-up of a Go Green activity that you're currently doing with pictures and videos. If young adults are interested, please get in touch with your Center Young Adult Coordinator, and they will provide you with the information you will require. Loving
I
Sai Ram.
remember when this incident very well. When Swami performed my sons, I have twin sons, Arun and Varun. Many of you from Sai Gitanjali and some others have met them. I have twin sons who are now married and have their own children. When Swami performed their Upanayanam in Puttaparthi, He was very sweet to me. I had gone to Puttaparthi in the usual summer vacation time. I worked as a kindergarten teacher here in the US. So I had the good fortune to have the whole summer off. So I would spend a lot of time, almost 6 or 7 weeks in Bangalore, of which we made many, many trips to Puttaparthi and spent quite a bit of time along with my children in Puttaparthi. So Swami was coming out for darshan one day, and I was sitting there, and he kind of called me over to him and said, "When are you going to do your son's Upanayan?" And he said that, and he said, "Go inside." So I went in along with my parents into the interview room, and as soon as we sat down, he asked me again, "When are you going to do your son's Upanayan?" So I said, "Swami, whenever you tell me, I will do it." So he jokingly kind of smacked me on the cheek when I was sitting near his footstool and said, "Every time you come at a time, then I cannot do their Upanayanam. Either Guru Purnima is going on or Ashada Masam is going on," he said. So I said, "No, Swami, I will come whenever you tell me, I will bring them. It will be their good fortune if you would do it." Then suddenly Swami said, "You go back to Bangalore and ask the priest if he can give you 3 dates and come back on Guru Purnima and you tell me the dates and I will pick one date," he told me. So at that particular visit, only my sons and I had come to Bangalore. My husband had not accompanied us because he worked for NASA here in the US, and he had a very a lead role. There was a launch of one of the Doppler satellites, and he was leading the whole launch program. So he could not come. He said, "You go and come this time. I cannot take time off at all to come." So the three of us had come. And I told Swami in the interview room, "Swami, my husband has not come. Swami Mohan Ram has not come. Only the three of us came this time." And I told him that there was a launch. And he said, "No, poi dates tiskora." He said, "Go and bring the dates," he said. So this was in the, I went back to Bangalore and I came back. The priest gave us some 2 or 3 dates. And I came back, but he had told me to come back for Guru Purnima, and I came back, and again it was extremely crowded, as all of you know. I was sitting in the 7th or 8th row because it was extremely crowded, and Swami came with all the Vedam and the students playing the band and all of those things. I had brought the dates on a piece of paper that the priest had written, but I did not bring it for darshan because I thought in the crowd of this Guru Purnima, Swami will not say anything, obviously, in the middle of this program. I had left it in the room, and I was sitting in the crowd, 7th or 8th row, and Swami came and suddenly he stopped with the thing and he called me, and a lot of people got up because it was very, very crowded, and he told everyone to sit down and asked me to come close to him. And I had to cross over. It took a few seconds and he waited and he said, "What dates did the priest give you?" See, this is the Divine Mother. We may think that some particular job is a trivial one for us, but he had told me, "You bring the dates on Guru Purnima," and he was sticking to his word. So he called me, and in that moment, with all the bhajans and the Vedas and the band and all of the things going on, I completely blanked out on the dates that the priest had given. He had given some 3 dates, Swami had said. So 3 dates are. So I said, "Swami, I forgot to bring that piece of paper for darshan." I said, "Actually, I had not forgotten." I said, "I didn't bring the piece of paper." So Swami said, 27th Chestan, June 27th. This was in 1997. So 27th Chestan, he said, and he walked away in the middle of this. So I was very taken aback. Of course, the function got over. We stayed for a day or two and came back to Bangalore. It was still very crowded. Then again the following weekend, I went back to Puttaparthi because I was in a dilemma. 27th was just a couple of weeks away and my husband was not there. So I went back and again Swami called me in for Puttaparthi. He said, "What happened? I gave you the date." I said, "Yes, Swami, you have given me 27, but Mohan Ram is not here, Swami." He said, "Yes, I know. You phone him up and you tell him to come." So I told Swami he has a launch on the 30th of June. He won't be able to come, Swami. That is why we got. Again, Swami did not listen. He said, "Just phone him up and tell him to come." So I called my husband from one of the STD booths. In those days, of course, we didn't have so many cell phone facilities. I went to the STD booth in Puttaparthi, which you are all familiar. It's nice to talk to a whole lot of devotees to whom Puttaparthi is so familiar as me. Sometimes when I talk to another group of people, they will all ask me, where did it happen? Where is the Ganesha? Where are the buildings? Because many of them have not had the good fortune to visit Puttaparthi as all of us in this group have. So I went to the STD booth and I called up my husband and I said, Mohan Swami is asking you to come back. He has given 27th as the date and he's asking you to come. And my husband said, it's impossible. He was leading the whole launch program. So he said, it's impossible for me to come. The launch is on 30th or something like that. You just go ahead. If Swami does the Rupanayam, that is the most important thing. You go ahead. It's all right if I'm not there, but I cannot come. So I came back again and sat down for afternoon darshan. He came out of the gates and again he called me and said, Phone chesava, did you call? He said, I said, I called Swami. He's not able to come, Swami. He's leading the program. In a few seconds, I told him, Ramman Chappu, he said. Again, tell him to come. So again, I went back to the STD booth and I said, Mohan, you just have to come back. Come, because Swami is commanding you to come. And we had never led our lives. We always led our lives, whatever Swami told us. And so he said, other than resigning my job, there is no way I can come. There was still 3 weeks. He said, I have to give at least 3 weeks notice and give somebody my responsibility because it's a huge responsibility for the whole launch. I will resign from my job and I will come, but at the most I will be able to come only 1 day before because I have to hand over all the responsibility. But I will just resign because I don't have any other option. They won't give me time off and I cannot ask for time. So I said, you resign and come. Swami will give you another job. It doesn't matter because he has very clearly said, Ramman Chappu, ask him to come. So my husband, it was that particular day that I had called him was Friday evening. It was over the weekend, so he could not talk to anybody. On Monday morning, he went to work and he spoke to all of his team members and he said that I will have to hand over all my responsibility and resign and go because I know that our policy does not allow us to take time off during a launch. So I will resign. And he said, I will till the last minute, every single thing that I am supposed to do, I will train, pass over and I will go. They were all totally shocked. They said, you are going to? He says, yes, it is a personal matter, which I don't think I will be able to explain in a way that you will understand, but I have to go, he said. Then I came back to Bangalore and my husband was transferring all the information. They had not accepted his resignation. They said, we will accept it the day you go. Because even if you are in India, we will try to keep you on call so that we can ask you any questions if need be. And because the policy was you cannot take time off. If you want time off during a launch, you have to resign. So he was doing this and he called me up and he told me I will resign. So I continued to stay in Puttaparthi for 3 or 4 more days. My husband could not reach me because I didn't have a cell phone or anything. I only had to call him from the STD. But after 2 days, Saturday and Friday, I was in Patti, so I was there for weekend. Monday passed by. My husband had told his people that he may have to do this. Tuesday morning, I was thinking of leaving after morning darshan. And Swami came up to me and said, don't worry, he will come. Because it was such a dilemma, how to do my 2 sons Upanayam without my husband. Very sweetly he came and said, don't worry, he will come, he said. And he gave me some vibhuti. And you go now, you come back next weekend, he said. So I went to Bangalore, did whatever few little arrangements that I wanted to do. Swami told me very specifically 8 people, your parents, your in-laws and the 4 of you. Because too many people, if they are there, the children will not focus on what I am doing. So 8 people only. So even though I had my brother-in-law and my brother's families there, I had to explain to them, Swami has said, they said, you go, it's important for Swami to do it, you don't worry about us. I came back again the following weekend to tell Swami, as soon as Swami came out again, he said, Enthamandu vastaru? He asked me, how many people are coming? You said 8 people, I have told 8 people only. Then Swami said, you call your husband today. He said, Poi phone chesara po. He said, go and call. So morning darshan over, again I went and called my husband. And he said, Gita, you won't believe it. It was Friday again. I had gone on Thursday. I had gone on Thursday to Patti. He said, the launch got cancelled. So I will leave tomorrow. I said, what do you mean the launch got cancelled? So he said, no, they found a problem with the rockets that will launch the satellite. So it got postponed to December. This was in June. It got postponed to December. So I have booked my ticket. I am leaving tomorrow. I will be there. So afternoon darshan, I came back and sat down. And Swami called me for an interview. Seva, yenta yochin chesavu, how much you worried. You thought your husband will not come. You thought Swami will no. Nenu talli kada. I am also a mother like you. Will I disappoint the father of the children or the mother of the children? I am also a mother. I have so many children. You have only 2 children. But I have so many children. Will I disappoint you? He said. I said, thank you, Swami. The launch got cancelled. Not telusu kada. He said, I said, Swami, launch got cancelled. I know that. So this is the Divine Mother. We think we know everything. But He knows our past, our future, our present, everything He knows. That is the beauty of having this wonderful Divine Mother in our life.
I wanna live the song that I sing. I wanna bring light to everything. I wanna hear the sound of God wherever I go. I wanna hold out my hand to everyone. I wanna give as freely as the sun. I wanna be a channel for the love of God. Being a channel for the love of God. I'm being a channel for the love of God. I'm being a channel for the love of God. Being a channel for the love of God. I'm being a channel for the love of God. I'm being a channel for the love of God. I wanna see the truth in all of life. I wanna surrender, let go of the strife. I wanna flow like a river on its way back home. I wanna fly like an eagle on the winds of time. I wanna swim like a fish in an ocean sublime. I wanna be a channel for the love of God. Being a channel for the love of God. I'm being a channel for the love of God. I'm being a channel for the love of God. Being a channel for the love of God. I'm being a channel for the love of God. I'm being a channel for the love of God. Everything that gets in the way has got to go. That's what they say to be a partner with the spirit of love. Neither for nor against anything. God knows what's best. It's good He brings. Being a channel for the love of God. Being a channel for the love of God. I'm being a channel for the love of God. I'm being a channel for the love of God. Being a channel for the love of God. I'm being a channel for the love of God. I'm being a channel for the love of God. For the love of God. For the love of God.
ॐ जय जगदीश हरे स्वामी सत्य साई हरे भक्त जना संरक्षक भक्त जना संरक्षक पति महेश्वरा ॐ जय जगदीश हरे शशिवदना श्रीकरा सर्वा प्राणपते स्वामी सर्वा పితా గురుదైవము మరి అంతయు నీవే స్వామి మరి అంతయు నీవే నాద బ్రహ్మ జగన్నాథ నాద బ్రహ్మ జగన్నాథ नागेन्द्राशयन ॐ जय जगदीश हरे ओंकार रूप ओजस्वी हो साई महादेवा सत्य साई महादेवा मंगल आरती अंधुको मंगल आरती अंधुको मंगल गिरिधारी ओम जय जगदीश हरे नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण 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 ओम नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण नारायण ओम जय सद्गुरुदेवा नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण 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 ओम नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण नारायण ओम जय सद्गुरुदेवा नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण 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 ओम नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण नारायण ओम जय सद्गुरुदेवा शांति 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 समस्त लोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्त लोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्त लोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु शांति 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 जय बोलो भगवान श्री सत्य साई बाबा जी की जय
परमं पवित्रं बाबा विभूतिं परमं विचित्रं लीला विभूतिं परमार्थ इष्टार्थमोक्ष प्रदानं बाबा विभूतिम् इदमाश्रयामि परमं पवित्रं बाबा विभूतिं परमं विचित्रं लीला विभूतिं परमार्थ इष्टार्थमोक्ष प्रदानं बाबा विभूतिम् इदमाश्रयामि परमं पवित्रं बाबा विभूतिं परमं विचित्रं लीला विभूतिं परमार्थ इष्टार्थमोक्ष प्रदानं बाबा विभूतिम् इदमाश्रयामि
ॐ साईश्वराय विद्महे सत्यदेवाय धीमहि तन्नः सर्वप्रचोदयात्। 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 ॐ साईश्वराय विद्महे सत्यदेवाय धीमहि तन्नः सर्वप्रचोदयात्।